Welcome back. We have new information on the Quincy City Council's decision to table the possible sale of the City Hall Annex building to the Quincy Township.
Mayor Mike Trope says he thinks some conflict of interest could be at play, and he wants the township to consider alternative options. Quincy Township is proposing to purchase the city's annex building for $347,000. New for a morning audience, Trope says he believes there is a conflict of interest in that some Quincy City Council members also serve as town board members.
And they have the inherent conflict of interest because you establish the sales price on behalf of the town board, then you accept it as part of the city council. I just don't see that that's in the best interest or the fair interest for the taxpayers.
The sale proposal will be presented to the council for a decision again next week. Trope says he believes the best option to sell the annex building is through an auction, allowing any person who wants to place a bid and purchase it to do so.
Also discussed at last night's Quincy City Council meeting, Mayor Mike Trope appointed Ilya Kukic to the Bet on Q committee as restaurant representative. That started yesterday and ends March 31st of 2025. Alderman gave the okay to a bid for street and sidewalk maintenance, but the Illinois Department of Transportation still has to approve that. And the council said yes to giving $100,000 in TIF funds to renovate 4 rental units in the 200 block of North 6th Street.